gentlemen, our prized youth, our elderly, which we all should honor. This is a 2 or 3-fold show today. Hopefully, we will reach every possible person we can. My name is MC Richardson. I'm your host and moderator of Guess Who's Coming to Kansas City, and got many co-hosts, including a guy who's trying to make Missouri the show-me state as it relates to the Black Chamber. And then we got our engineer, whose parents are from Buffalo, New York. And I guess it's kind of warm there today because normally Buffalo is cold. Well, anyway, what we're going to do, we are going to acknowledge tomorrow being Father's Day, which was established on June the 19th, 1910. Okay. We also, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January the 4th, 1963. And when we talk about Juneteenth, the largest gathering is being held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, Galveston, out of Comanche Crossing down there in Houston, that's when it was approximately 106 black females, 93 black males, and they took part in drinking the red soda water and eating the ribs. Now, we want to open this up so I can be joined by any time, and we're going to put this in the memory of Horace Peterson. He is the founder of the Black Archives of Mid-America. Milton I. Richardson, who turned 123 on June the 3rd, and we had a misfortune that they had a funeral today. A person was one of part of the homicide, what has really corrupted our nation. And nowadays, it doesn't matter whether you're a woman, you're a fella, you're a teenager, or you're a child. And if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, they'll blow you away. And that's a term about people blowing people away. They did have a funeral today of a person that was murdered, a homicide. But I can't believe, with all the shots that were rang out, that this person was killed and nobody seemed to know who did it. I don't believe that. We've had so many murders in the United States. They want to break a record and seem like they will, but let's get our other people involved in this so we'll have a good show for you today. So, guys, join me. If the women want to have something to say, tell them how they can text us and we can get that word out.
Well, I guess that's me. Our folks can do that in commerce. One way, you can join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and we can also be heard on, I should say not heard, the show can be found on most of your Facebook, most of your podcast apps, Odyssey, Spotify, places like that. Anytime you want to find us, look up Guess Who's Coming to Kansas City, MC Richardson. Or you can just Google MC Richardson podcast, and the show will come up also.
Well, how did the engineer, what role does he play besides making sure we're on the air?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that, sir?
I will repeat it one more time.
Please do.
I said, what role do you play by being the engineer that makes sure we're on the air?
Well, you just summed it up there, sir. I make sure you're on the air, and I make sure that you're everywhere that people can see you.
Hear us, you mean?
Well, hear us. That's right. We could do
We
see
can be
you.
seen. We can be seen.
We could be seen if that's what we choose
Okay.
to do.
And who are our potential listeners, Mr. Person with Missouri Black Chamber of Commerce?
Well, MC, anywhere in the country, if you have a computer, electronic device, was a cell phone, iPad, computer, desktop, and all that stuff. You have an electronic device that can, get a electronic signal. We can be seen anywhere in the world.
You know, Abraham Lincoln, I think, was on January the 4th, signed the 1863, signed the Emancipation Proclamation to free enslaved black folks.
Mm-hmm.
Some black folks, they still haven't been freed yet. They still are enslaved. And not only black folks enslaved people, but other nationalities, they have enslaved folks too. And that could be any place in the world.
Well, MC, that's true, because one of the things the great Jesse Jackson, who started the push organization years ago, it was Rainbow Push, that he started, came up with the idea of utilizing the rainbow as a way of identifying the black people in the country. And he worked, worked together to try, to get, notice, get recognition, get things done. But the rainbow has been hijacked or taken over by the LP, by the gay community right now, that they're utilizing rainbow, okay? That was something that we utilized to identify black folk. And so having said that, that has put black folks further behind in terms of getting their equal rights. So I can't say their freedoms, okay, to participate in different things. And most recently, last week, I want to say that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the NAACP in Alabama, where there was a court case where the state of Alabama was, they did the census, then they only got one district in the census. But the state of Alabama has one quarter, 25% of the population, and they should have got two congressional districts. So the map was that the Texas legislature drew had to be replaced because that was deemed illegal, and that's going to make them have to go back. So that's going to be some recognition there. So blacks are still fighting, but also that same map there in Alabama will kind of lead to the map in Louisiana also had to be redrawn to make sure that blacks can get another district down in Louisiana. So I mean, so right now there's still things on the books, okay, laws on the books, okay, that protect blacks. That the recent Supreme Court right now are repealing those laws. So that means we're going backwards in some cases, and that depends on where you are and how you been treated.
You talk about enslavement, but in some cases they say that black folks in the South, in most cases, are better off than some blacks in the North. What do you think of that?
Well, MC, that depends on what do you want? What you standard of living? And if you look at that, in some cases in the North, like I just mentioned Alabama, And depending on where you are, like down in Mississippi right now, in the Jackson area, there's an ongoing fight now as we speak. Where in the state of Mississippi, Jackson is the state capital, and it is right now. It's as the population shifts from where the blacks became more. The city of Jackson now is 80% black, and they right now have some of the worst water living conditions in the whole state. And there are other shortcomings that's also that's been enrolled as that. Then we said that that state, or you go to Texas, people are fighting there. So I mean, so really, the things are shifting from where they used to be.
Well,
so I'm not quite sure exactly what states they were talking about in the South. Okay, that and even in the North. Okay, you have some states where you have your voter rights. And that's an ongoing thing there for blacks in the country.
Speaking of that, here in Kansas City, they will have the election municipalities on the 21st of, I say the 21st of June, but a lot of people say it's June the 20th because that's on a Tuesday. Whether people get out, they keep changing from city to state when they have the general, when they have the primary, when they have people to register to vote, and who are eligible to vote in the most elections. Who are they?
MC, I think right now, okay, that they don't change them around. I know here in Missouri, which where we are, that I know even on Tuesday, I think they have a municipal elections in Texas. But most states have different elections, municipal and for the federal. The federal is pretty much always in an even numbered years, so to speak. Like when we have our congressmen, senators, but every 2 years, if you're a state representative, you have to run for re-election, or if you're a state senator, before you get to run for election. And then that's straight on a state level, and also if you run for a state office, as far as a governor, lieutenant governor, in those offices, treasurer, secretary of state, attorney general. Well, those offices last 4 years, and they also come up in odd years. And the only ones that come up in a different year on that level is Missouri is the state auditor. But and that actually stands by itself. And then in all your municipalities, you have those elections you're speaking of now that on different times, and that's pretty much to make sure that those different elections, okay, get the attention that's needed, okay, so they do not get lost, okay, or overshadowed, I should say. If you somebody running for congressman, they get overshadowed with the mayor. So that allows people to understand the difference in their election leaders, so they're elected. So I think in Kansas City, you saying they got a municipal election that's coming up now. I think, I'm not sure officers they're running for. It's the council people, the MC.
Yeah, this municipality is people for Congress, and then you have that's whose election to be.
Well, your Congress people are not running for re-election. In Kansas City, in Missouri, no place now, because they only run even number years.
You mean the federal people, the Congress people?
Yeah, they only run in even numbered years. Yes.
Okay. And I know every 10 years they have the census, and that lets people know what they can do. Let me ask you this, since it's an inclusive show, do white folks have to register to vote, or they got that given right automatically?
No, they gotta vote too. They gotta register to vote. I mean, I don't care who you are, what color you are if you're in the United States. If you're gonna vote in an election, okay, you gotta go down there and get on the voting roll where you live at. Like in the state you live in, and then that decides what city you live in. Then that decides what it could be community, your like say your village or your townships. Anything that they go that you identify by, but they have to go register, white, black, whatever you are, to be counted. Just like the census.
Well, let me ask you this: back in the day, before you and Scott and myself were around, women could not vote.
No.
Have the power to vote. But nowadays, and I think both of you can say that, especially black women, they are really gaining a lot of power politically.
This is true.
Go ahead, Scott.
I'm just agreeing. This is true.
Yeah, it is, because I know even here in Missouri, until recently, we had State Senator Brian Williams was elected, I guess 4 years ago. At that time, he was the only black state senator from the St. Louis area. So there were very few, but the majority of the state reps and state senators were females. And also, I would say now, if you look at our Board of Aldermen in St. Louis, that we have a lot of females now that's on the board down there, and also in most of your municipalities around the state. Like here, we have the mayor is a female. President of the Board of Aldermen is a female. The other top office in St. Louis is the comptroller's office, and she's a female, Ms. Honorable Darlene Green.
Well, let me ask either one of you, where does the John Lewis get everybody the right to vote? Where is that now? Is that a given nowadays or what?
No, I don't think he got people right. He's a congressman from Georgia. Okay, now that is in the Atlanta area. I don't think the John Lewis bill, okay, that was named after him, has passed in the House, but it has not passed in the Senate yet. And I don't get exactly all the rights. Okay, so I'm not going to mess with that. That comes with that. But it gives more blacks more respect. Okay, I would say in a lot of areas.
Well, let me ask you this: with the Republican now in control of the House, and the Democrats are in control of the Senate, why is it a problem of the Senate not stepping ahead and getting the John Lewis right to vote a given?
Well, MC, since this is the last hour of folks show, you're so come to get here. I surmise that in the Senate, the bill to become law, okay, in the state of Missouri, in the country, I should say, it requires a 2/3 vote in the Senate for the John Lewis Act to become law. And they, although the Democrats were in the majority this year and last year, they could not get enough Republicans to join them and pass the bill.
So let me ask you that. You said they couldn't get enough Republicans. With the Democrats being in the majority, don't they have more senators than the Republicans?
That they do, okay, and also the vice president also they count her as a tie. But I just said a second ago, MC, there's some bills that require a 2/3 either a majority for them to for it to become law. And I think that threshold right now is that you need at least 60 yays to pass the bill that deals with the John Rights, also the George Floyd bill also. And so they could not. So sure, the Democrats are in the majority, but they do not have 60 senators, which that means they would have at least 7 Republicans that agree to vote with the Democrats to achieve that number.
Since we're talking politically, I don't recall any time that you want to be black, you want to be Negro, you want to be colored, you want to be African American, has ever won a state of Missouri position.
That's true. That's true. That is true, sir.
Okay. Who is this person that's running for the senatorial position this time? He's presently he's a Republican, but he's changing over to vote as a Democrat.
That's running to be in the Senate.
Yeah.
No, I mean, here in Missouri?
Yes.
Well, right now, Josh Hawley is up. No, his term is up. And but as far as I know right now, Mr. Coons, okay, who's from that side of the state, Independence, he's running for to be senator. As a matter of fact, I think most recently the Missouri AFL-CIO just endorsed him to run, and also last week the congressman from not through the prosecuting attorney from Tennessee County, West Seville, put his hat into the ring to run for the Senate. And so a lot of people ask the question, why would he so late doing that? And because normally in election, where from the Democrats most of the time, one of the people that you need their support is the AFL-CIO.
Well, is this person, what's his nationality? This person that's going to run as a Democrat?
West Seville, he's black.
So, if possible, because I understand that he's going to wake up every little crack in the whole state of Missouri to gain that. And
Well, see, how can I put that? The word on the street is that Kuntz will probably get the majority of the vote because he has ran statewide before. And Mr. Vail is only ran here in the St. Louis area. Previously, he was a councilman in Ferguson, and he ran some years ago and won against the prosecutor, Mr. Bob McCullough. And so now he just got reelected recently. And so what's the word on the street supposed to be is that what he's doing is testing the waters, right? Trying to get name recognition, I should say, in this area to challenge Congressman Cory Bush. So, but again, you always have people, okay, as they try to move up, they get name recognition different ways. The last time in the other case, Congressman, that's not true. Congressman Bill Clace, that's not true. Mike Roberts, who's the state senator, he challenged Miss Bush and did not succeed in winning. And so this time it just seems, I guess now, that Mr. Bill, and most of the time when it takes place, a person's in the state in the Senate, okay, he has a 4-year term, and he'll normally try to get, to get in a position not, not running for re-election themselves. So that's how that's going to work. So I can tell you right now, we're actually doing this in live and listen. So I'm going to mute 3 minutes, okay? I have to start the lawnmower in the backyard. So if you guys will bear with me, I'm going to mute you so you have to just out you inside.
Okay. What would you say, number-wise, Republicans compared to Democrats, and also you throw in the independents? How many people, would you say, are eligible to vote? Let's say if they voted today.
I couldn't tell you personally because St. Louis, as far as I know, did not have an election. But
okay, I'm back in. See, I couldn't hear what you said because I successfully assisted my wife on the first pour after I started the lawnmower. We have one of those rest of two. We do it together. So
you tell her while we're talking politics, your grass is being cut.
there you go.
Well, you can hear it in the background. Yes, I am. And thank God, okay, that went. And got down 15 steps and paralyzed and all of the stuff. God knows,
Hello?
Once
There you are.
and normally, okay, I would be assisting her out there, and doing some cutting also. But today, I'm fortunate that she's going to do it by herself until I finish the show. Then I'll go outside there and, and do some of the assisting there. We'll cut the front in the backyard.
Okay, since we're in the political arena, you have a black woman. Is her name Bush? She's a congressperson from St. Louis.
Cody Bush, yes. Mm-hmm.
What about your mayor?
Mayor Sharon Jones she's also they're both Democrats, yes, and she's black. Yes. Yes, sir.
Now you don't have state senate that.
Oh yeah, we all have them. See, any city in Missouri has state reps and state senators because they go to we elect people to go to their city to which is where our state capital is there to to pass laws and represent us with the bound parts of the state. Yes. So now we do have a state senator and a state representative, but again, those elections take place on even years.
Well, where do aldermen come in at?
Well, the aldermen in Kansas City, you have a form of government where you have a city councilmen and women there, and those has aldermen and alderwomen here, and their elections also takes place here in St. Louis in an odd number, on the odd year. But normally our elections take place, the primaries take place in March, and then the general election take place in April. But it seems as though where you guys are in Kansas City, that your primary is taking place. Your primary is taking place next week. So I'm not quite sure when you have your general election. And so so they have the same process, but they just the different cities take different times of the year. And they decide what's best for them.
Okay, we need some input from you, Mr. Scott, on any subject politically.
I try to stay away from politicizing things because I am a broadcaster and I want to stay neutral.
Well, I found myself being where I found myself in Missouri, in St. Louis, that the raised okay, and worked in the city that is controlled by Democrats. But normally, okay, you'll find that I have worked with the Democrats and with the Republicans in the state, within our senators, John, excuse me, Senator Blunt. When he was in office, I worked with him, okay, and I was able to live with Senator Bond, and these both were Republicans, and also with Senator Jim Talbot when he was a senator, or even some case with some of the congressmen. One of the things that I look at is that I've worked with a person, okay, that that may be a friend of mine, or maybe someone that both voted no interest that I have, and I suggest anybody that's voting that they look at the person who they're voting for, find out, okay, if they're voting for something that's going to benefit them, and that's the person they should support, not just go and vote for Democrat, or they're black, just figure out, okay, the person you voted for, that you're trying to get elected, because that person's going to represent you, and going to Washington to represent you, or they're going to go to your city to represent you, or they're going to go downtown to your city hall to represent you. So she always makes persons, like say, you live in the city or the county. You want to make sure that your alderman in your ward is making sure that that your streets are being taken care of, your garbage being taken care of, speed traps, like street lights, and whatever in your neighborhood, okay. And I think, MC, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the problems I've read for years, and one thing I have always said, that the average person does not know the duties, the difference in the duties of, okay, the congressman, they got a problem. I'm gonna call the congressman. Well, you only call them for federal things. I'm gonna call the state rep. I'm a street sweeper. No, you don't call the state rep if the streets not being fixed. You call your alderman or your commitment, okay, you want your streets fixed. And they got another issue. They got to make sure they're calling, and that's why we get into the municipal, into the state, into the federal governments.
We started this show talking about the Emancipation Proclamation, which President Lincoln signed that was on in 1963, and now President Biden has made Juneteenth national holiday.
Mm-hmm.
A city that has been the largest in attracting folks. I used to think it was Kansas City and Atlanta, but my understanding, what I've been able to ascertain today, that's a city of brotherly love, which is Philadelphia. Now,
I think Chicago. Now Chicago is larger than Philadelphia.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and also you got Houston, Texas, which is larger than Philadelphia also.
Well, that's my understanding, celebrating Juneteenth, okay. But
we come to Juneteenth, as a matter of fact, in Houston, Texas, they have a black mayor there, I hear his name on too much the other day. Sylvester is the mayor. It's the mayor of Houston, Texas, and I think it's larger than Dallas, and also it's larger than Austin, Texas, which is the state capital down there.
Okay, let's see if we can check this out. Echo, what is a city with the largest Juneteenth celebration? Echo. What city?
Stand by.
Administrative assistant. What did he say?
We can't get that at the city of brotherly love.
No, because right now, okay, that changes from year to year, and last year with the first year that they actually probably started keeping count on a federal level, okay.
That's true.
Juneteenth became a holiday,
Go
ahead, Scott.
I was just going to say, according to CBS News, Philadelphia Juneteenth Parade and Festival bills itself as the largest Juneteenth celebration in the U.S.
Okay, that's which we're just going from. Okay, and that's how MC, you'll find it. Okay, next year, okay, a lot of cities are gonna be building themselves. Okay, and it's the largest city, but right now, CBS News has confirmed right now. Okay, that it's in fact is Juneteenth in Philadelphia.
Well, also, I have noticed that Cablevision and all these cities in America that I know of, I don't know about the one in the Deep South or whatever, the one that are controlled by the other culture. I don't know if they celebrate Juneteenth, but all of the airways that I've been
MC, let me say this to you, okay? Any city in any state in the country will celebrate Juneteenth. It is a national holiday, and so that means the post office is going to be closed. There will be no federal services. That means if you're working in certain businesses, okay, you have that off as a holiday, and that's no matter where you are. And that's if you're black, white, Japanese, Korean, what nationality you are, but if you're a United States citizen, okay, you will be celebrating Juneteenth if you want to. Now, also, you have to remember this, that a holiday is celebrated by the ones that recognize that it's a holiday they want to celebrate. There's going to be some whites, okay, either whether they want to or not, okay, the office will be closed. But they will be taking advantage, okay, of the holiday. If you're working in a bank someplace, the bankers will go give that day off to you because you can't do any banking because it's a federal holiday.
Well, that's a good point because, there are a lot of people who used to and still celebrate October the 12th as Columbus Day. Other people celebrate Martin Luther King. So it took the world.
MC, I don't recall anybody celebrating Dr. King birthday in October, because I do know that he was born in
October. Columbus Day is normally in October.
Okay.
Come on, help us, Scott.
Columbus Day, 18th October.
Right, yeah, that's right, October. But that's why Dr. King has never been associated with that. To my knowledge, and the 2 days that he's associated with, but the day he died, which was April the 4th.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that, because I know here, Kelly, a lot of people, they wouldn't take off Martin Luther King being a holiday, but they would Columbus Day. So it got
that's because MC certain company, if you work for a federal state company, okay, office, you will be off as a holiday. That doesn't mean a private corporation like Hallmark, HR Block, something like that, okay. You wait for the Kansas City Chiefs the baseball team, that they will honor, that they will pay. You can take it off, okay, but you wouldn't get paid for it.
Well, that's true too. Now we talked about several things politically.
Yes, you are.
We have not talked about the St. Louis Supreme Court, nor have we talked about.
No, we're not saying St. Louis does not have a Supreme Court. There's only one Supreme Court in Missouri, and that's in Jeff City.
Okay. St. Louis doesn't have one, right?
No. See, there's only Kansas City does not have one. The only Supreme Court. Each state each state has a Supreme Court.
Okay. Isn't this good?
And wait a minute. And they deal with laws that affect their states.
Okay. Isn't it great to have shows like this where the people can express themselves and get the word out? Now, what has been one of the things that people in St. Louis or the governor people are talking about? Then they tell me that the Secretary of State is going to run for the governorship. Now, is the governorship term limited?
Yes, you have two 4-year terms.
Okay. So ask Crocus, he's running to be the governor.
I'm not quite sure of all the people that's running to be governor because they have the primaries going on now, and that decision will be made as to who will be the nominee. I want to say it's sometime in August, the first Tuesday in August. I want to say, and that's when the Democrats are the big candidate, so Republicans and the other parties. And those are the ones that will be on the ballot comes November in the general election.
Well, one thing about it, because the Chiefs are red, that means that Republican and Missouri is a red state, right? Doesn't have anything to do with the Chiefs. It's just that color.
No, I don't think that the fact that the Cardinals have ever.
All right, they're red too, aren't they?
Yeah. So I don't think. Matter of fact, in Kansas City, you got the Kansas City Royals, okay, who are blue. So I mean, so how would you explain that?
Okay, Scott, don't let him take all the credit. Step in and help us.
He deserves a lot of the credit though, Mr. Richardson. He deserves it.
Well, thank you, Jim, for so much. There's some wisdom for to be 74 years old and that have experienced a lot. I worked in the politics, political arena for many years, and I also worked in city government when I was the first and only chemical compliance specialist, and also worked in the Democratic system in St. Louis, and where in the 4th Ward, I was, a matter of fact, the only elected officer I ever got me back. I guess in politics was I was elected the treasurer. Well, I would have been the president of the 4th Ward organization, which is in the Ville neighborhood there. But I didn't. I was nominated against an older person that been there longer than me. I decided not to take the position, took myself out. And Helen Well became the president of the ward, and I became the treasurer. And so but in most cases, I've been a political consultant that help get you elected in the various wards.
Well, let's do this. Scott, we still got some time. Will you tell our people out there, hopefully our listeners, if they want to text, if they want to ask a question, what is the procedure of that?
Well, you can go ahead and ask questions on the Facebook page, or if you'd like on the web page, which is FergusonUSA.HotTalkRadio.com, or you can contact Mr. Ira, or you can contact me at voiceoversforyou@gmail.com. That's VOICEOVERS 4 letter U @gmail.com.
Well, Scott, you know, on our show, you got to do it 3 times, so you got 2 more times to do that.
Oh, this is a different show, though. Okay.
Okay.
Scott
Okay.
Scott Owen.
I just do mine Okay, go ahead.
Scott Owen at voiceovers, number 4, letter U, at gmail.com. That's Scott Owen at voiceovers, number 4, letter U, at gmail.com. Operators
And
are
mine would
standing
be,
by.
okay, mine is IRA, IRA, folks, FOWLKES at yahoo.com. That's IRA, folks, IRA, FOWLKES at yahoo.com. That's IRA, FOWLKES at yahoo.com. And I said, we're like, Scott, operators standing by. We have a team of people waiting there. They're standing by to answer your emails right now.
There you go.
Yes, sir. There you go, Mr. Richardson.
Okay, I just want to know if we got. I'm just trying to see how many listeners we got that should take part of these interesting shows that are produced by Program USA Hot Talk Radio. And on any given time, you have different.
Well, MC, it's kind of hard to say, okay? And Scott, help me out here when I say this, okay? We have a live stream, okay, of Ferguson USA Hot Talk.com.
That's
and also,
right.
we have a live stream that's going on Facebook Live right now. We also have a live stream that's going on YouTube right now.
And it's
also we have a live stream going on Twitch right now.
It's also shared to the United Minority Media Association Facebook page.
Yes. I mean, so each one of those, okay, have the numbers that we don't compare with anybody else. And so, and then also on top of them, say, your show will be on. Go ahead, Scott. Will be on Spotify.
Well, yes, I share it to rss.com, so it's on any of the places that you can get a podcast. But the thing is that you can get it at any time that you'd wish. On Facebook, you can go to the web or go to our Facebook page and see or listen to the broadcast at any time. It's recorded there.
Yes, so that's why I said if we ask me to give you a number, okay, we may get how many likes that's on our stream right now, but that wouldn't tell us what Facebook is doing right now, or either what YouTube is doing or what Twitch is doing right now.
This is true. And it also has to do with how many people share this information. Because
right. Also, that's also okay. I know today on our program, we did this afternoon from 1 to 3 with lunch with Jim Commerce. I shared it with 4 people this afternoon, okay, before I kind of took my little siesta in between the programs.
But I never received the numbers on how many people share it.
Right, MC. And like I said, MC, I give you another good example. Today's program that we did on our program, then we were fortunate enough to have the second presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ. And what that means is that the Church of God in Christ is a worldwide church organization that has over 7.5 million members around the world, and around in all countries. Now, it's a strong possibility, okay, that I was told today that for today's show that they were going to send a blast, okay, to all their members, the members, I guess, around the world in the jurisdictions. Listen to my program today, and so I'm not sure how many did that. I mean, how many looked at Facebook, okay, YouTube, or Twitch today. So, again, that will be determined. And then, plus, I do know that when I shared the program with Bishop Wooten and also with First Lady Shirley Wooten, that on their phones, that they were in the process then are going to share with their church members. We're going to share with their family members. So you see how that works?
Well, also on one of our shows, we're talking about Melissa Payne out of Oklahoma that having their family reunion class sellers. It's going to be in Cherokee Reservation in Cherokee Nation, And my understanding that the person who is in running this out of Fort Gibson or Muskogee, whatever, they have received a call from some person out of St. Louis that wanted to charter a bus. So the only way they could then, we still haven't gotten the follow-up taken care yet. Only way they could do that is taking advantage of the show that we had, and we had an outstanding show with the young lady from Oklahoma.
Yeah, and then as a matter of fact, when I deal with her MC, I'll forward her a copy of that show, okay? Then she in turn shared with the Cherokee Nations, okay? That she represented, and then from there they disseminated, okay, to people here in St. Louis and everywhere else. So it must have been quite a few in the St. Louis area that they gonna get a boat. I mean, I'm not a boat. They get a bus to come to the event.
Let me ask you, you've been very, I want to congratulate you, and I'm going to take advantage of me and Scott. I want to congratulate you because you have the capacity of getting these shows out to any person in the United States, any listener, whatever, once you get their communication, how you get to them. And
well, I get your Facebook. I can do it. We do it on Facebook, But you give me your email address or your cell phone number, I can text it to you, or I can email it to you.
Well, I just want to once again, it's your time to congratulate him, Scott, because I guess if you want to stop him, you can, but I don't think you will. This is great of how we try to communicate.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have a lot more opportunities to communicate now than we did.
Yes.
And it's also important that as we do communicate, as people do listen, they do share, and
yes.
Because if you don't know what you're missing, you don't know what you're missing. That
right.
That's the wisdom I have.
You know what you're missing. Yeah, and I think you'd be surprised, MC, as you just said, that somebody here, some people here are children of bus, okay, because someone shared, what I shared with Miss Melissa, when I said that to her, okay, because she was going to send it to their different Cherokee Nation, some other tribes that she was involved with. And so evidently, okay, they shared it with somebody else, share with somebody else. That's why I said, once we do the program, it's internet radio that you're listening to. And that's why you can be found in your cars or anywhere there's an internet connection. You can get us live in living color.
People from Kansas City, and I don't know if somebody, they had an election. And the guy was running to be retained as chief of the Cherokee Nation. I don't know that results, but I understand that a lot of the people that I have talked to, they either voted for him or they wanted him to stay as the chief of the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma.
Well, remember the Cherokee Nation is on its own election schedule.
Right. Yeah. And I see. In their cases, okay, they have their own cycle, okay, like Scott just said, how they would do their own way of business. Have elections and stuff. How they are governed, I should say. And that's how. As a matter of fact, you mentioned the Cherokee Nation, okay. Most recently, let me pull this up here. One of the tribes, before I say this wrong here, the Kickapoo tribe. Now I know there's some out of Kansas. Okay, they voted recently. Okay, matter of fact, on June the 11th, and showing all your different station like the WCAX, that the Kickapoo leadership was ousted, okay, for failure to the leaders of the tribal council of the Kickapoo tribe in Kansas have effectively ousted leaders of the tribal council of the Kickapoo tribe in Kansas have been effectively ousted from their alleged failure to cohere the budget and comply with elections. What it means is the members of the General Council of the Kickapoo Nation decided that in the state of Kansas that leaders there were not following the rules and the regulation that was done on June the 10th. And so I did forward that to Miss Melissa, for her to have that, in her file to share with her people. And they going to listen who they were and stuff like that, okay? But I really came across that, okay? And I shared that with us as the Kickapoo Nation tribe, I should say, not Nation tribe. That was in Kansas, and I'm sure they got other places they have tribes that, but the one tribe in Kansas was not following the rules, and so they decided that they were going to, and not that we're going to, they had to, change leadership. Like I
want to add to that through cable vision, regular TV, and what have you, they really are promoting or telling the people about, not really promote, but the discrimination. And they said what had happened, people of color and Native Americans. So the word is getting out about that. And I guess Native Americans, we used to have about a couple of months ago, we celebrated Asian and the people from Hawaii. And this year we celebrate all the different nationalities and things once we know. But how should we entice, I'll say entice, to get more people involved? Of course we listen to sponsors too. How can we best let the people know that we're here for them?
Well, MC, I have to add more. Another way that people find out about us. I know you can get your local TV station, but here I have a Dish TV, and on the Dish app, okay, on their system that they carry, they also carry on there, okay, YouTube. So if you watch a TV, okay, and you have Dish, okay, you can find out about us on YouTube also.
I hate to say this, gentlemen, but there's only 4 minutes left.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Scott.
Well, Scott, you just took a minute. Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, my.
No, I just was okay saying that, well, I know it may be on DirecTV, some other package that you may get, okay? But I just know that I have Dish, and they have YouTube on there as well, some other channels that you have access to, like Netflix, that Dish provides to you. So I do know that YouTube is one of the services that they have on Dish. So that's another way, okay. That means then that Dish will be also tracking our numbers also, and we would not be able to keep track of in the station.
I just want to say, MC Richardson, the host, chairman, what have you, that my number is 816-822-816-694-2273, and we'll be happy to extend the invitation to get the people involved. We'll have some outstanding women involved, and we need to get more people involved, because this is a show of the station Ferguson USA. We're open, right? Is that right, gentlemen?
There you go.
Also, let me say this first, okay? As the head of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, okay, the comments today, this is like a disclaimer, okay, reflect not just the Chamber's thoughts, okay, or our views, it just reflects our folks' views. Some of the things I said have been political, and in our charter, 513C, and also with the state charter, we cannot get up in the course of politics. So my opinion I've been given, okay, are not those of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, but it's our folks, regular citizens. in St. Louis, Missouri, in the Woods Terry.
Well, you want to close us out, Mr. Scott?
Thank you for listening to Guess Who's Coming to Kansas City with MC Richardson. We'll see you next week. Have a great night and a great week.
And life is good.
And life is good.